Everyone, hello. Thanks for joining. Much appreciated. Nice to see some familiar faces on this session. We've met before anyway. I think I recognize all of you. I'm Andy. I'm one of the product managers working on the scheduling product. And yeah, this session really is all about, well, it's a session of two halves. So the first 15 minutes, really, I'm going to go through some of the new features that we've launched in Content Scheduler. We'll also talk about some of the changes as well and some workarounds you have for those changes. I'll call out all of those specific changes as well, and a little bit around the rationale behind them. I'll also cover a really important thing about some changes in terms of connecting accounts. We hear lots around connecting Instagram and some challenges there, so I'll be covering that one too. We'll dive into the product also to show some kind of best practices as well. And hopefully that'll take us maybe only 15 minutes. And then I'm going to take the remaining 15 minutes of that session, or this session, to take any questions you might have. So feel free to pop questions in the chat for now. Once again, thank you for being here. But otherwise, we'll keep it pretty free flowing, and then we'll open up for questions at the end. Alrighty, let's just get sharing and start talking. So firstly, let's talk about some of the changes to the scheduling product. So, and thank you to those that have been using the scheduling product. Massively appreciate it, and all of your feedback, hugely valued. So the beta version of this, because we're still calling it beta as part of Scheduler, because there's still some features that are still to come. So it's worthwhile considering that, because there's a raft of new updates coming, and that I'm going to talk at the end around what those new updates will be as well. So stay tuned for that. So anyway, let's break down the 5 core features that have changed and we know are causing a little bit of friction right now. So number 1, duplicate posts. So currently you don't have an ability to duplicate posts, which used to sit under right-click actions, which don't exist currently. And also you could have accessed it through this more options area. Duplicating a post, super important. But we're going to be reintroducing it, but reintroducing it for a very good reason, just to explain some rationale as to why it isn't here right now, because we're going to be introducing multiple account publishing. It's a really important update, that one, because it's the biggest feature request we've had. So essentially that means you will have the ability to connect not just one Instagram account, but multiple on, and the same will apply for Facebook and Twitter, etc. That's a huge and massively important update, but it has some implications for how you duplicate content and how you'd share content from one Instagram account to another, etc. I won't bore you with the details. You'll be first to know anyway, because I'll be sharing it in the Discord anyway, around when that feature comes out. But just to give you some rationale behind, you know, hey, why was that feature here, but it's gone away? There's some logic behind it. Also, a couple of other things as well you'll notice that are conspicuous by their absence. Alt text isn't here. Again, some good reasons for that. One, alt text was again hidden by right-click actions, which meant not many people could discover it. And again, like right-click actions are not here. We'll be improving them and also bringing alt text much more to the fore, because accessibility across this whole product and social media, super important. I think Jane, you're on the call. I think you've called this out as well directly to me too, so thank you for that. And there was also some gaps in our previous iteration of alt text. Didn't work on Instagram, for example. We didn't support it for Instagram. So there's a lot more to come, basically getting this product shaped in the way that it should be, because the first iteration of Content Scheduler was very much, you know, take some few components of what used to be Content Cal, which was the business that I co-founded, take a few of the good bits from there and put it in Express. Now this is much more of a baked in experience where we're essentially rebuilding the whole thing again from scratch, but we really want to do it right. So yeah, alt text coming back in an improved form. And you'll also notice this calendar view that I'm sharing right now. Now, I have heard comments, and I think we've all heard comments around, we're losing some of the detail within the post, right? Because unless you hover over, when you hover over, you get all the detail, which is great. But actually, we're hearing many reports of actually this is not enough detail to see in the calendar view. And, you know, I agree with you for sure. There's some logic and some rationale behind that we just need to think through a little bit. because one, in the month view, it does mean you can fit a lot more content on the screen. We have had reports of like, we need to see everything in a month view. So it's a really important thing to consider about visibility on the month view. The week view as well, however, it could benefit for some more information. So our design team are just looking into that at the moment. So, we've heard you and we're absolutely thinking of ways that we can make that a little bit better. Again, some of the logic and rationale behind this too is that you're going to see this experience come on mobile, in the not too distant future. You never had the ability to access Scheduler on mobile before, and we'll be unlocking that very, very soon. And again, that means that we have to think about how that calendar view looks between desktop and mobile, because calendars on a mobile, as you might know from if you use kind of Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, they're a little bit tricky to manage calendars in smaller screen sizes. So we're really thinking that one through at the moment. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of dependencies when we're thinking about how we build this product right. And that's why we'll continue to listen, continue to do these things to gather the feedback, hear what you have to say, and really, really keen to share with you some improvements. So recap very quickly. Duplicate posts gone for now, but coming back, and will be coming back alongside a much requested feature of multi-account publishing. I'm super excited for people to be able to publish to multiple Instagrams, multiple Facebooks, etc. So duplicate posts will come back with that. Alt text will be coming back, but in a better form and supported across multiple networks. The kind of lack of visibility within the calendar, as in, many of you are telling you don't want to roll over or hover over on these postcards for you to see the detail. We're thinking about how we'll rethink about that for the week view. Cool. I did also touch on mobile a second ago. So a few of you have called out the fact that you don't have the mobile access on Content Scheduler. So there's no kind of like push notification. We call it the final mile publishing. So when you'd connect an Instagram account and it would send a push notification to your phone. That capability has gone for now. It's gone for two particular reasons. One is that personal accounts on Instagram are not supported in terms of publishing and scheduling. Instagram don't have any support for that directly. There are no platforms that have support for publishing to personal profiles. So we've actually improved some of the professional profile publishing capabilities. So this is a really important point, this one. I'm just going to go ahead and disconnect my Insta account here. So now you have the ability to both connect both business accounts on Instagram and creator accounts, both of which come under the guise of professional accounts. Super important. I'm sure many of you have Instagram professional accounts already. And if you are trying to grow on Instagram, you would probably be best served to have a professional account. It gives you so many new tools, new analytics, all the things you need to grow your Insta account. So that's why Instagram have only enabled us or everyone else that works with Instagram to enable publishing or scheduling to personal professional accounts only. So what that means is that if you have an Instagram account, you'll need to change it to a business profile. We're updating this page as well because it's misleading, because it says, creator profile coming soon. We've launched that already. So it's both business profile and creator profiles. And what that means is that when you change your Instagram account from a personal to a professional account, it means you're going to need to connect that to Facebook and associate it to a Facebook page. So here I've already got an account connected with a Facebook page. And honestly, if I had $1 for every time people have asked me this question over the last 7 years of building social media products, I'd be a very wealthy man indeed. Sadly, I'm not. So what we're going to do here is go to edit settings. This is super, super important for anyone using Scheduler to make sure you select all. So here it's pulling through all of our Instagram professional accounts. So many people press unselect or just select one, select all, because it opts into all of the permissions. It will save issues later on, and we'll have an opportunity to choose which account we want to connect later. So as long as we've got on Instagram upgraded to business or creator, then we're good here. It will show up. Clicking next shows us all of our Facebook pages. Again, select all is your friend here. Do not turn off any of those permissions if you want publishing to work. So select them all and press done. It should all be selected by default. Just make sure you don't play with any switches on any of that. Leave it all on, leave it all selected, and you'll be good. So with that, provided you've connected your Insta account to a Facebook personal profile, or a Facebook page rather, here you go. Here's all of your professional accounts. That's just pulling through. So I'm going to stick with my Andy Lambert Adobe account, and there you go. We're all connected, and we can just head back to Adobe Express. Super important. And yeah, making sure that you've changed your account from a personal account to a professional account will save you a lot of heartache when it comes to publishing content. Yeah, big update there. And that's why the mobile push notification stuff has gone away. We got lots of complaints about it as well, like notifications not arriving. It just wasn't as good as it should be, not as reliable as it should be. So this is just a lot more solid now, and gives you more flexibility with creator profiles. Cool. All right. So they're the kind of key changes, those 5 things that have changed from the previous version to this current version, all of which have kind of steps to improve and bring back in much better form. Talking about some positive stuff, because let's talk about some of the shiny newness that you can do with Content Scheduler, because there are some new things, lots more to come, however. Number 1 here, I'm just going to go and find a file that I've been working with. Let's look at my social assets here. Let's look at this carousel. This is often missed, and I think we're going to do some things to improve how people can discover this. But you couldn't schedule carousels before. Now you can schedule carousels automatically. You used to have to get a push notification through mobile for carousels, which is a pain. So once again, kind of to the point of solidifying the Instagram publishing experience, now we could multiple select these pages. Let's just say we want to publish this carousel with 3 pages, hit share. Now we've got the opportunity, to go ahead and schedule that post. Schedule that post is the thing you want to do if you want to put it across multiple different networks at the same time. So here you go. I'm going to put it on multiple networks. Add our caption here. So the caption creation tool's exactly the same as before. But a couple of things to call out. So we often get questions related to at mentioning or tagging, however you might want to call it. So there's a couple of changes here. So this is something we will be bringing back, and it kind of falls into the camp of like, didn't work as well before, so let's actually just do it right and do it better this time around. So the previous version of tagging and mentioning has gone in the bin because it was buggy, and it'll be back much better. But actually, to be honest, I think this gets a little bit nerdy, this narrative, so stick with me. The way that tagging and mentioning works through tools like Adobe Express or Content Scheduler, and it's the same for every other product in this market. Because we work through APIs that the social networks give us, it means there's a whole heap of complexity that sits within that and limited functionality. So let's give you a bit of a rundown of what's actually available. Facebook only lets you tag pages, not personal profiles. So to be honest, the utility of Facebook tagging diminishes drastically when you can only tag pages, doesn't have that much relevance. Either way, we will be bringing back the ability to tag a Facebook page because that has gone away for now. Then let's cover LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn's a very similar case to Facebook. LinkedIn, you can tag, or you could tag company pages automatically. Again, company pages and tagging them, not hugely valuable. You can't tag, like with Facebook, you can never tag personal profiles. It's forbidden from LinkedIn's rules. So both Facebook and LinkedIn tagging, even though we did have the ability to automate tagging through the API, and you could automatically generate those tags and tag them through Content Scheduler, there's very little point in doing it, because tagging pages, unless those people respond to your post is demoted in social media algorithms reach. Everyone you tag needs to interact with your post. So we need to use tags. Just a general bit of social media guidance. We need to use tags really smartly, because if people don't respond to the tag, then actually it's a worse thing for us to include tags in posts. That's a really important point to note. But then going on to other networks. So the platform formerly known as Twitter, so now known as X, you can still tag. It won't automatically generate, but if I wanted to tag my good friend Jordan Danae Ellis, so I could just write her handle here, and that will work at the point that it's published. So a nice easy workaround, and the same will work for Instagram too. So we never had the ability to automatically generate those tags, and basically just writing it in or copy and paste it in will work just fine. Sorry for the long narrative on mentioning, but it's super important to consider. And also, the point about use tagging and mentioning like very judiciously is a really important point. So yeah, tagging is not all it's cracked up to be, put it that way. Unless you're generally collaborating with someone like I always do with Jordan, then it's always very valuable to tag. So what you'll also notice is a new feature of publishing now. Many of you had asked for that to make a return, because ever since we launched Content Scheduler, we basically removed the ability for anyone to just publish content in the moment. So now you can publish content in the moment if you so please. Preview capabilities exist. We've done a lot of work to improve how realistic those previews are. It's surprising how much work goes into making a realistic preview of a post, because you can see that on a multi-image post, there's very different displays depending on Facebook or Instagram. That's why it's super important to use the preview post so you can get an accurate picture of what your content looks like. So lots of improvements there. I mean, to be honest, you probably wouldn't notice them, and that's a good thing. So if you don't notice them, it just means that it's going to work well. Cool. So I'm just going to schedule it. I'm going to save it as a draft. I love using drafts as a way of like building the content plan as well. So that's one bit of value, well, a few bits of value. So carousel, automatic carousel publishing, which we can schedule directly from the editor, a bit of narrative around mentioning and when we should use that, and also the ability for us to now publish if we will just want to schedule things straight away. All of that is kind of new value that we've unlocked as part of this release. In addition, a couple of other things just to show you. I think we're pretty much nearly there and ready to open up for questions. How am I doing for time? Yeah, pretty much nearly there. So now you can schedule video directly from the editor. So here is a video that I prepared earlier. And if anyone's been playing with the video capabilities, loving the new transitions as well. But yeah, with video, we can now schedule it directly from the editor again. So making sure our workflow's super quick, we can go ahead, hit share. I want this to go out on LinkedIn, choose a LinkedIn channel. We can swap it around if we need to. I won't in this instance. Write our copy. And there we go, we can just publish it now. One thing I particularly like about this, even though it's still uploading and we've massively improved the speed of like video uploads, you don't need to worry for it to upload. It's going to do it in the background. Publish now, continue on with your work, continue working through all of your other projects. It's going to continue working in the background and schedule it. So again, it's a bit of it's a minor thing, but a nice time-saving thing. It will show as publishing just whilst it's kind of busy rendering and doing what it needs to. And then when it's ready, you'll be good to go. Again, drag and drop, all the same as per usual. So a great way of using like some of the draft content capabilities to plan the themes that you'll be talking about. Here, I actually use these little images to plan my content themes, my calendar. So as you can see, as we kind of scroll up through the month, let's go into the month view actually, you can see that I kind of plan the week around these content themes, and that helps me structure the content plan. That's how I kind of use this calendar to build my own personal content plan and build that. So I don't use this just for scheduling. I use Content Scheduler also for like planning and organization. To the point about planning and organization, this is often a little bit hidden here. So these are your unscheduled posts, great for ideas, things you don't know what to do with yet. You can just go ahead and drag and drop that into the calendar whenever you're ready. Obviously, I'm in the current month, but I can just go ahead, drag and drop and bring that in. A nice way of you working with your pre-existing ideas that you didn't know quite what to do with. So with that, let me just check my notes. Did I cover everything? I think I have covered everything for now. So let's stop sharing. Let's see if we've got any chat, and I'm going to head to there in a second. But I haven't actually shared some of the stuff that's coming. So number one, I have mentioned this one already, which is the multi-account publishing coming down the track real soon. And of course, some of the key features that I've called out earlier that have taken a kind of temporary vacation from the current version of the product. Alt text and duplicate of post is the main two. And then what's the shiny newness that's coming? So Reels and stories automatic publishing. Yeah, hurrah, I cannot wait for that. So we can schedule our content directly to Reels and Stories. That is going to be huge. That'll be coming real soon. TikTok publishing coming very soon as well. I love publishing to TikTok, so I cannot wait, and we're pushing very hard for that one. And the third thing, which is probably the thing you'll actually see first, so I've probably put it in the wrong order, will be mobile access. And for anyone that does social media content on the go, mobile is going to be a really important one. And then there's loads of other bits that I won't bore you with right now, but we can, you'll find me in Discord all the time, which is all about kind of team collaboration, sharing the calendar, approvals, all of that goodness, we care very deeply about, because that's been our life. Building social media tools in the past, we care massively about how we work and collaborate with others on social plans. Right, I'm going to stop boring you with my voice for now, and I'm going to look in chat. And let me just enable mic for everyone, because we don't have too many people here, so it's nice and easy to do. And hello, Karen.
Andy, I answered some questions, but there are a couple that I can just highlight so you don't have to scroll through.
Thank you.
Okay, there's one from Alex about tagging in images for Instagram. Says it's only possible on Instagram, which was possible to do via the previous method on post via mobile. So could you just expand a little bit on that? And then Alex, feel free to also chime in.
Alex, awesome question. So 2 ways of taking that. So one, Instagram have just literally in the last 2 weeks improved their API to allow location tagging and product tagging directly through their API, which means we now got the freedom to build some stuff into it. So I don't have a defined timeline for that, but the fact that automatic publishing of those more advanced noodly little things, because location tagging, product tagging, super important, as you called it out, that'll be automated, so can't wait for that. And point 2, that use case that you described will be unlocked as soon as we go into mobile. And you are absolutely welcome, Alex, to be part of the mobile beta, which I'm part of leading. And we'll be inviting more people into that in the next 2 weeks. So we are not far away from you having the ability to do that. So yeah, looking forward to that.
All right, we have another question from Phil. Your opinion on why someone would schedule a post for Instagram and Scheduler versus just doing it on the native app?
Is this from my favorite, Phil? I think it probably is. Hello, Phil. Why would you do it through Scheduler? Purely for speed and ease, right? All in one app. I'm sure, Karen, you can probably have a narrative on this too. And of course, for many people, you want to build your brand across multiple different social channels, right? I'm a huge advocate of multi-account and multi-channel publishing to extend the reach of our content, to maximize our exposure across multiple channels. The average social media user is now on 7.2 channels. So if we really want to reach our audience, we need to think multi-channel. And that's where scheduling tools are super powerful. That would be my answer for that one, but hopefully it makes sense, Phil. Good to have you here.
And then the last one, again, from Alex, about reverting back to the old scheduler while we wait for mobile. I think for this one, unfortunately, we won't, but as I mentioned in the Slack, mobile will be coming soon. Andy's also mentioned that as well. The mobile beta, hopefully in the next couple of months, will be up and running, although Andy can correct me if I'm wrong on that. We know it's not the most ideal workflow right now, but trust me, once mobile gets up and running, it will be a lot easier than what you currently had in the last version.
Definitely, yeah. Second that comment, Karen. And yeah, I know it's a bit painful, Alex, right now. There's no 2 ways about it. We're hearing it across the rest of Express. So I think there's, as much it kind of pains me a little bit now, it's kind of the main approach would be, especially for the things that you need to do, is just publishing natively on Instagram, as Phil was talking about. So yeah, not ideal, but it's the only thing you can do right now. Robin, is there a tutorial on Scheduler, or will there be? That's an idea, actually, Karen. I think we might need to record one that lives in perpetuity somewhere.
Yeah, I think we could do that right now. I believe there's onboarding, when you first sign into Content Scheduler, there's tips on how to use different functions, but we have heard that people do need more guidance because it is a pretty robust feature. So we could think about adding one or creating one and putting it on either the community or HelpX page so it's easier to use.
Definitely. And just a call out to you as well, Robin. Thanks for all your feedback and activity in Discord. Massively appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be making a note of that tutorial comment. Cool. Do we have any more in chat, Karen?
That's all I see. If anybody else has a question, you can either yell or click the raise hand button.
Cool. All right. Well, we're kind of at the top of the allotted time. Anyway, we can do this as often as you please. You'll find me on Discord anyway. And yeah, let's continue the conversation there. Thank you for taking the time out of your very busy days to have a chat today. And yeah, I'll see you again very, very soon. Take care, everyone. See you later. Bye-bye.